Growing up ranching is a simple life. It taught me values crucial to carrying on our heritage. Living off the land and taking care of the animals on it was part of life. From the mountains in Montana, the deer stands in Texas, to the plains of Africa, I have been blessed to go on these great adventures. This is where we practice conservation. Hunting and fishing plays a major part in this effort. Being out here with my family, my friends, is what makes memories that will carry me through my lifetime. I'm just a simple blue-collar guy with a passion for the outdoors, and I want to bring that to you.
If you are prepared and you are on your A game, it's easy, and it makes it easier for us as PHs as well. You know, when guys go out and they have the right equipment and they have done some training shooting at the rifles, and then it makes it much more easier for us.
So we trained on charging buffalo. We trained on simulators where the buffalo come out of the trail. This isn't one you just take lightly. It's not just one that you just go set up and shoot a couple times. I probably shot 200 rounds getting ready for this because one, I've got people that depend on me at home, but two, the people around me. If I make a mistake, it could be a matter of life and death.
It was a tight schedule. We actually have the Marine Corps here training right now, but we just finished a 5-night, 4-day SAM course, so it's on the tail end. So Doug and Izzy stayed over to help you get through the training and show you the basic safari course. It was a very fast day for you.
Being able to watch the shooter engage a target, reload, stay in the fight, basically keep knocking the targets down and just stay on top of it. So I thought it was a pretty successful day.
And you're eager to learn, and we find that with 99% of our students too. So, but in your case, you did really well and you got a lot done in one day. It was awesome.
This is one I've been waiting on a long time. Dangerous game, Africa. I'm on my way to Namibia.
We got Jay involved and do a buffalo show with us, and yeah, we just got everything ready and planned our trip for the Caprivi and for a 10-day buffalo hunt.
It's like we've developed this bond, this friendship, and who better to have your back on a dangerous game hunt than a friend and somebody that knows buffalo, and that's what Louis does. That's what Chapungu-Kambako does. So I prepared, I was ready, but having him on my side doesn't hurt things. The camp here is amazing. We've got really high-end, they're kind of like a wall tent. You've got a hot shower in there, you've got great beds, you've got food at night, you've got everything you'd want. But on the other side of it is you don't want it to be too fancy. We're hunting wild Africa. We don't want to be in a 5-star hotel with running water. It's part of the experience, but they make it pretty nice.
Blue Collar Adventures is brought to you by Glacier, simply the world's finest. Wicked Tree Gear, Tecumate, Huskama Optics, Stealth Cameras, Fleer Hunting and Outdoors, Kuyu Ultralight Hunting.
One of the hunting areas that we hunt up in the Caprivi is bordering the Botswana. It's along the Chobe River. There's a couple of things that plays a role when hunting that area, because lots of the animals cross in from Botswana into the Namibian side. Especially when your moon is not right, they tend to go back. They come to feed in Namibia because there's a lot more food for them, especially when it dries up in Botswana. So animals tend to move back and forth between Namibia and Botswana. So it makes it a little bit more challenging in that aspect of, when they move back, some days they're gone for weeks. It puts a challenge out there to get them on the right time. Another thing that probably plays a role hunting the Caprivi is there's lots of people, villages, So the animals don't like to be in between the people and stuff. So they tend to move out early in the mornings back to their, to the parks. And these animals know exactly where the borders of the hunting areas are. But they do come back due to hunting and all of the things. There's water and food for them. So yeah, luckily for hunting, we provide for those animals, which plays a big role and help us to hunt them as well.
We shoot Best of the West long range, but they made me a gun that just kind of is a game changer. 375 H&H is one of the best calibers to shoot Cape buffalo with, and if you add the accuracy of Best of the West with a Huskama optic, my chances just increased a lot of making a perfect shot.
I was really amazed at the capabilities of the rifle, how accurate it is, due to the fact it's a big game rifle, and still you want it to be accurate, but the accuracy of that 375 was just phenomenal. On big game you can walk quite a long ways tracking these animals, and that's a big advantage carrying a rifle that's so light and comfortable. But I thought the gun is going to have a lot of recoil, but I was so impressed with shooting it, especially on the bends, because most rifles have way more recoil shooting it off the bends, and that gun was just so nice. You can do it all day long. I think that's a good rifle especially to bring to Africa. You can shoot from elephants, buffalo, hippos. Sometimes you have to go out and shoot that little bit longer shots, and these guns have the capability of giving you accuracy on those long shots and on these dangerous game. And talking about a long shot on dangerous game, it's 100, 150 yards maximum, but you never know when you're going to need it, and it's rather have it than need it than don't have it and need it.
I've got a friend named Jeff Massey, and he and his wife, we talked at Dallas Safari Club about he wanted to come hunt dangerous game. I said, I have the place, Chapungu-Kambako. He's a lefty, but he can shoot. And he got there a little before I did, and he made this amazing shot on a buffalo.
Reload. Let's go. Take your sticks here.
Flow 200 yards, Best of the West, just like mine, 375 with a 1x6 Huskama.
Then the beauty thing about the whole situation is because everything happened so fast, we didn't realize if it was a giant buffalo or a good buffalo. We walked up to it, the buffalo's laying there, ended up being a 41-inch buffalo. Didn't realize he was an absolute monster.
Blue Collar Adventures is brought to you by Carbon Express, Traeger Wood Pellet Grills, Cinnamon Creek Ranch Ultimate Archery, Newmont Mining Corporation, demonstrating leadership and safety and stewardship of the environment. Nature Blinds, the most realistic hunting blinds on the planet. Spot Hog, the world's toughest archery products.
After the buffalo on the river, we got up 2:30. We're gonna get on that boat, 8 of us, and go down this crocodile, hippo-infested waters. Hopefully we stay in the boat, but it's a beautiful ride in the morning though. These wild buffalo, thousands of them in here. We just hadn't found them yet. Hope today.
I was ready to have a heart attack. There's this tiny little banana boat, and there's like 8 or 9 guys. The other boatman was supposed to show up, and he didn't show up, so these other hunters had to get in with us. And I can't swim very well anyway, so I was super nervous to get in the water. And to top it off, we saw crocodiles right off the bat.
Due to the fact that they moved out early in the mornings back to the park side, we had to get up earlier and move out and try to catch them before they move out. And one of the things that little bit, we had to go on a boat ride for at least an hour and a half getting to the hunting area because driving there was not possible due to the fact that we have to cross all those floodplains and you have the possibility of getting stuck. So we did the safe option of going on the boat and leaving early in the morning, driving in the moonlight with the boat on the river and getting to the hunting area to find the right trophy that we were looking for. All Daga boys, they go into this long, tall reeds and it's dangerous.
You train it for close quarter shooting because these buffalo, you never know if they're going to be 100 yards or they're going to jump up at 15 yards. And that's where it's going to come in handy. I've got a 1x6 Husky on my rifle and we step off the boat and we're going into reeds that are above your head.
Every time you moved, it would slap you. We would go through the grass and there's huge, like these big holes where the hippos stepped. And some of the water spots, Louis said to be careful because if you stepped into the mud, you could just disappear into a crock hole. They were always on guard, they were always on watch and ready to shoot.
This is our second day and we haven't found the buffalo on the right side. We've seen them on the Botswana side, but we set foot over there, they'll shoot you. It's a full moon. And it affects this just like it does anything else. The full moon is not your friend when you're hunting. So we're trying to get down the river, catch these buffalo on the right side, and we come around the corner after a long ride, and there's the buffalo. There's some giants, there's buffalo everywhere. My heart's racing. I can tell Louis getting excited, and as we come around the corner, we see they're on the wrong side of the river.
Day 3, Louis knew I was kind of at the end of my ropes.
Louis has been trying to get us a ride on a boat all week. There's 2 parties sharing one boat, and these guys are at the mercy of the locals. If they don't show up, there's nothing they can do about it. They're buying their own boat, it's just not ready. So Louis calls in a favor. He's got a friend, and he shows up with the ultimate boat to be on the Chobe River. The ride goes from 2 hours to 45 minutes. The sun's breaking over the river. You've got your big caliber rifle and you're going after a Cape buffalo. I mean, you want to pinch yourself because you think it's a dream. It's just, everything's so surreal. There's crocodiles sliding off the bank into the water, hippos, heads popping out of the water. You're after one of the most exciting species there is to hunt, the Cape buffalo. And when you start seeing those big giant black bodies on the riverbanks, knowing that when you get off that boat, it's you and them. It's dangerous, but it's not for the ego part that I like it. It's just I'm getting to do the real Cape buffalo hunt in Africa.
Blue Collar Adventures is brought to you by Taco Casa, real fresh, real food, real good. Vortex Optics, the force of optics.
There's a buffalo standing on the bank. He's 50 yards in. He's a monster. He's just the perfect specimen of a buffalo. The sun has to crack to be legal. We have to get the boat to shore to be legal. I'm watching these buffalo leave, crossing the river. They're going to Botswana. And if they leave, they're gone. We've made it, we've caught them on the right side. Now we're playing against time. We're playing against the sun coming up and it starts to crest. It's legal. We go to shore, we hang the boat on the rocks. The guys are pushing off the rocks. I'm watching the buffalo headed to the corridor. They're gonna cross, they're gonna leave. And it's just like, you're gonna step off, you're hunting a Cape buffalo. Now the pressure, they're gonna leave. You're watching your dream cross the river. And we finally get the boat loose. We get it to shore, we step onto the shore, and the big, beautiful buffalo that I'm after is too close to the river. If I make any kind of mistake, he swims the river, we lose him. And we just can't take that risk. The decision was let him go. And we get back on the boat to see if there's some more buffalo around the corner, and we spot 2 bulls come out of the reeds. Hunters in general, it's all about taking the one past his prime. And I think Africa just wanted me to experience that. With Glass, he's not the giant wide buffalo that we just watched swim the river, but he's ancient, he's old. They think he's at least 12 or 13 years old. He's 200 yards in. We get the boat hung again. What do? We jump off, get in the river. You know, at this point, we'll just have to shoot the croc if he bites me on the leg, but we're going to the river and we're gonna get 15 yards in, get on the bank, and we're gonna try and get a shot at this big old bull before he gets to the corridor. There's nothing between us and these bulls in there. It's wide open. 1, they can get mad at us and come after us. 2, there's no way to sneak any closer. Louis puts his sticks up. This is everything I've trained for, everything I've practiced. It's all in this one moment. Put him in. One more, I got him. Make one more. I knew that it was where it was supposed to be. I watched this bull spin. I watched him go down. But in training, you don't want to take a chance. I put one more through him, but he was gone. It was a great harvest, the way you want to do it, the way this old bull deserved to do it. He's fought Africa his whole life. He's probably fought lions and crocodiles and other hunters. Coming to Africa was a dream, and then you start seeing the buffalo, and that's like the next part of the dream. And then we saw, and we got here, and they're just disappeared. Thousands of buffalo here, and it's hunting. And then it was this roller coaster ride on the boat for 3 days, and we worked for it. Huh? This didn't just drive out in the brush and shoot one. This was like, and then just to get a beautiful bull like this. You guys are amazing.
We got a nice old bull. It's always great to get these old Dagga boys, and that's the conservation in the hunting as well. So that's why we do what we do, and you guys support it, and what it's all about.
What an honor and a privilege to get to come to Africa and hunt this beautiful buffalo. It's been a dream of mine since I started coming to Africa years ago to eventually get to hunt a buffalo, but I worked my way through Plains game because I felt they were so special that I wanted to kind of work my way into Africa and go there enough to earn the chance at a Cape buffalo. I don't know many guys that get on a boat with alligators and buffalo
crocodiles.
and crocodiles. There was no alligators, but there was crocodiles. Thanks for helping me. I appreciate it. She's a trooper, but she loves to hunt, and that's why we do it. And I'm a lucky man that I have somebody like you to go with me. Stinky old man cameraman would suck.
You know, we worked hard going after them every single day for a couple of days, you know, and at the end, well, we had a great trophy that we can celebrate.
The miles this buffalo's walked, you know, you see these thousands of buffalo coming off the Botswana side in the evenings, coming across the river. And he was in those herds, and he'd seen it all.
People don't realize how big a part of the whole system that piece of meat plays, you know. It is a very important thing for them. And that's why we are so grateful as outfitters and PHs of Africa to have hunters out there to come and hunt Africa and carry over this passion and keep it all going.
We eat some of it at camp, but to be able to give back to the community, and they don't waste anything.
Only hunters can come in and purchase a hunt, so they don't get this protein. So when we load 500 pounds of protein on the boat, and we're headed to a village that we have to carry it into them, that's what it means to be a hunter.